Support my content by becoming a patron on patreon.com/JaianMusic. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. Today, I am here with my main man, my co-host, my brother from another mother, Hotshot. How's it going?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm happy to be here. I'm in an amazing mood. I am ecstatic, over the moon. It's good to be here with you, buddy. It really is.
I'm just gotta say, I'm good. Go on.
That's
not me, like, at all. That was me when we started this podcast together, but not anymore.
Yeah, the Hotshot's daytime job is just killing him, and like he's slowly just becoming more robotic. It's okay. Today, the topic is we are rehashing the epic topic Hotshot and I did the first time in episode 16. It's episode 59. We're rehashing it. Anime what, Hotshot?
Anime Heroes
2.0. Baby. So, Hotshot and I, we're doing another list podcast. I got 5 heroes. He's got 5 heroes. We have backups because we never know. This is unpredictable. We never know what's going to happen. So, brand new episode of Anime Podcaster for you guys. Buckle up. We're going to get into it. We're going to go over all 10 heroes here and talk about the greatest anime heroes in our opinions, 2.0. So, maybe the second greatest. Also, quick note.
The greatest heroes of all time that we're doing for the second time.
Yeah, exactly. Before we get into the actual picks, I want to go over like what went into our lists. And before all of that though, I want one quick housekeeping note, just so everyone knows. Next week, so you're probably listening to this from the 23rd to the 30th. I will be out of town, therefore there will be no uploads on the channel. So no content for the last week of June. Just so you know, I will be back.
I have a week's vacation.
Yeah, a whole week with me not sending you messages like, oh, we got to record this. Oh, we got to podcast this. Oh, we got to produce this. Oh, I need a thumbnail for this. None of that.
I'm going to enjoy every second of this break.
All right. Yeah. Don't take it too far, though. But seriously, just so you guys know. All right, Hotshot, what went into your picks? Like, when you were crafting these 5 anime heroes, what went into you selecting them? What was your criteria here?
So usually when I say hero, when I think hero, I think like saving the world or saving like basically anything, that kind of thing. But really, what went into this one is, granted, there are still quite a few in my list that do that. It's mainly just the protagonist, like the story of the one that we follow, just the lead character and his or her side characters, teammates, like that kind of thing. Basically, if they're the lead of the show, like they're the focus, they're the one who's like who we're rooting for and everything else, that's who I'm trying to focus on.
Right on. I really like that you approach it that way. For myself, I really went with I had 2 rules here. I did this first rule. I did not want to select 2 characters from the same anime. I wanted to spread out my selections, and I also did not want to select a single main character, because everyone knows Goku's a hero. Everyone knows Saitama's a hero. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not picking a main character because it's obvious, right?
Right.
So what I went for here is something that's more like, I'd say, the characters that aren't as looked into as possible, as much. They're kind of overlooked. They're still very heroic. They have heroic traits, but they're not as looked into. And quickly as well, the first podcast we did this, I picked some of my picks, so just to list them up. I had Saitama, I had Mob from Mob Psycho 100, I had 9 and 12. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. I know you picked L. For one of them.
I did pick Natsu. L, yeah.
And Natsu.
Well, I mean, Natsu's just a given. Natsu is a hero.
Yeah, for sure. So those are some of the characters that will not be reappearing because they were previously picked. So, Hotshot, I'm going to let
Unless I completely forgot about him, and then, in which case, Jaden say, actually, you used him already, so go again, you fuck.
No, I don't think that'll be the case. Even if you did, like, I'm not going to remember all of them.
No, I know. So, I'm not going to either.
Yeah, so, Hotshot, would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
Do we know who went first last time?
I think it was me.
All right, so I'll go first on this one.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so for my first pick, taking up the number 5 spot, I'm picking the hero of Darling in the Franxx, Hero. His name is literally Hero.
Hero from Darling in the Franxx. Get into it.
Have you heard of this one, Jaden?
I've heard of the anime. I have not watched it.
So, Darling with the Franxx is, when you get down to it, it's basically a society controlled by what they literally call adults, and children are basically bred and programmed like robots in kind of a way to basically just grow up into teenagers and protect the adults from these monsters patrolling outside called Galactosaurs. And where Hero comes in, he and his squad are in one of these platoons that guard against the Galactosaurs. And the way they do this is they hop in a giant mech called a Franxx. But the Franxx takes a pair of two people. It takes one male, one female to control it. And throughout his training, Hero showed great promise. He showed great potential into being a pilot. But then all of a sudden, for reasons unknown until you get further into the show, he just completely collapses. His scores go down. He doesn't pilot well, anything like that. Until, and this character I can guarantee that you have seen float around, Jane. 02, the girl with the pink hair and horns. That ring a bell?
Yeah, that definitely. I've seen that on my Twitter feed a bunch of times.
This is where she's from, and she's his partner. So once they get partnered up into the same Franxx, then he's able to pilot again and actually fight against the Galactosaurs.
Okay, I see. I actually have a good question about Hero. So you said like he had a bit of a failure. He didn't pilot properly. When the situation was on, he did not perform to the fullest. How much of that goes into him being heroic? Like where he's not, heroes are supposed to be like the straight A's, always rescue, always be the best you can be. But obviously,
when he started his training, he was exactly that. He was just the perfect high score kid. Like, so they actually don't have names. The children gave themselves names. The adults just call them by code numbers. And the lower your number, the higher the potential you have when piloting a Franxx. And his code number is 016. So it's 016. And they go way up there. Like, I think the highest one I've seen is 900 something. So he is way, way, way up there in the potential for when he was actually doing his tests. But then until you get further into the show, for some reason, his scores just absolutely crumble and collapse. Even when he's shipped out with his team, he just doesn't pilot Franxx. He just doesn't do anything. In fact, the first episode has him almost leave the team entirely because of this.
Okay, I see. And what about when it comes to his personality and who he is as a person? Like, strip down the occupation, because obviously being a hero is a occupation, but you need to have I would say a positive outlook. Is he like a joyful person? Is that something that represents him well?
He's not a joyful person. He's the one who actually asks questions about like why they're doing this, like why are they the ones fighting for the adults? Like, he's basically trying to understand the world, the outside world, outside of what they've been told from the adults, and no one is telling him anything, and he then goes on to investigate on his own, and that's actually when he runs into 02 in the first place. And then the two of them form this bond over the anime that actually builds and builds and builds. So basically, Hero is nothing without 02, like, riding his coattails. But I'm picking Hero because he's actually the one who gets the ball rolling. Like, there's got to be more to life than what we're doing. So he basically takes up the leader role and takes on his entire team, like, basically, don't give up, we got this. We should be asking questions like, do you guys ever wonder, blah, blah, blah. He's the one who actually provokes, like, thought into what's going on.
I think I think a good word to describe him in the way that, like, what I'm gathering from him. Obviously, like, I've only seen pictures of this anime. I didn't even watch the trailer or anything. Is hopeful a good word to describe him? Because I feel like that's like with the failures.
Hopeful would probably be his single word description. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Because that's what this character speaks to me. Is that definitely like having hope and not. I know there's obviously this part of not giving up because he pursues his goal, and that's a heroic thing to do. But definitely before that, he's a hopeful individual.
Yeah, and he is the brightest. He's the most happy, most outgoing when he's going through the growing up stages before he's at that age to pilot a Franxx. and then something happens to him as he's growing up to completely diminish that, and then he has to build his hopeful side back up throughout the show that we see.
Okay, very, very, very interesting first pick. I was not expecting such a. This one was kind of left field, but I came around to it. I see why you picked him.
I mean, a lot of my picks are gonna be leaving you go like, wait, you picked who, and why, and what are they from?
Yeah. All right. Is that everything you have to say? Can I go to my first pick myself?
Yep, that's all I got on Hero. Go ahead.
Hotshot. Honestly, I'm kind of rusty. We haven't done a list podcast in a while. I'm kind of like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, I know. And the last time we did, we had all the references in front of us, and I'm just like, you know what? I just give up. Just take the win.
All right. So my first pick is from Attack on Titan.
You better fucking not.
I'm not. Relax.
Okay, cool.
Name me a very heroic individual that is not Eren. I'm not picking any main characters in Attack on Titan.
Shit, I think I know who you're even going for, but I can't remember his name.
What does he look like?
He's the one He's the one who took Mikasa and Eren.
No.
Not him.
I mean, no. It is within the Scouts. I'm picking his leader. I'm picking Erwin, Captain Erwin from Attack on Titan, the leader of the Scouts. Does this ring any bell to you, Hotshot?
No. Yeah, I know Eren. I know Eren.
No, Erwin.
Erwin. I know Erwin. Okay, we have Armin, we have Eren, we have Erwin. Pick a fucking name.
Okay, I picked Erwin. I'm picking Erwin.
Okay, I know you picked the blonde guy.
That's all you know? Okay.
Let's go with that. Okay, let me rephrase. You picked the blonde guy that isn't a whiny little bitch.
All right.
Needing Armin. Go ahead.
You're such in a bad mood after that. All right, so Erwin is the leader of the Survey Corps, like as I said, of the Scout Regiment. So he is absolutely the foundation of the Scouts. Season 1, he blew me away with his tactics, his techniques, how calculating he is, and he really put himself. He always put the mission before him. Whatever needs to be accomplished, Erwin does anything he can to be able to win and to be able to be successful. When Annie's in the forest, okay, as the Titan, he does this incredible plan where the Levi squad is currently being chased by Annie, right? And everyone in the Levi squad is freaking out. They're like, Captain Levi, the Titan's right behind us. What do we do? Captain Levi is like, keep going. Trust in Erwin. Erwin has a plan. And boom, Annie shows up. And she gets shot by all these metal strings that Erwin has placed a trap to lock her in place and be able to capture her. Obviously, the plan didn't go through exactly, but there was always something that Erwin planned out to make it happen. Another thing I really appreciate from Erwin is how serious he am, and the future. He's always looking to the future. He always has, he's always able to determine which soldiers are the best for this situation. He really has all the what's the word here? He has the mindset to be able to really be able to have the best outcome for the Scouts. So as the leader for the Scouts and as a huge reason why humanity was able to fight back the Titans, I have to pick Erwin. Like, he's the type of character where when you look at Attack on Titan, you kind of forget about him because he's not, he's not in the trio. He's not Captain Levi, which everyone loves Captain Levi. But if you look behind Levi, Erwin is maybe not as good, but just almost as good as Levi, who's absolutely epic. Are you understanding where I'm coming from here, Hotshot?
I'm understanding. I mean, like, even the main characters, be it Eren and Mikasa and everyone, all of them need a leader in order to be where they are in the first place. Erwin shows that they still have so much more to grow. Like, since he's been doing this for years, he's been doing this for God knows how long, and he can actually lead everyone. And he's one of the only people that Levi, of all people, trusts.
Absolutely. No, definitely. Hotshot.
We're good.
Can I get it?
We're good.
Yeah, of course. Okay, I really want to go more into why he's a hero, but that would require me to talk about the current season of Attack on Titan. Do you not want to talk about it? If you don't want to, I won't spoil anything. Okay, or is it okay? I won't talk about it if you don't want to.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to block you out on this one.
Oh, okay. I'll just say this. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Season 3, Part 2. You know why? If you're watching right now, you know why Erwin is a hero. Erwin is what he does in that season is very heroic, and so that's all I'll say on that. So finally, another thing I want to say about Erwin is, as a he is a leader, but before that as well, he taught the scouts, like, when the scouts are formed, right, in the first season of Attack on Titan, where you have John, you have Armin, you have Bertolt, you have all of these characters joining the scouts. Erwin teaches all of those scouts how to become a scout, and how to be strategic, and how to plan. For you, Hotshot, is that important for a hero to be able to be a good teacher? Are those two things separate for you?
I feel like a good hero can be a good teacher, but at the same time, the heroes that speak closest to my heart are the ones who are actually being taught and become the hero.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, mentor and hero to me is a different role, but I can completely understand, like, the mentor having heroic moments or hero days or anything like that.
Okay. And from what you've seen of Attack on Titan, what would you say is the most, like, heroic part of Erwin? Like, what is it about him that, or do you disagree? Do you think he's not a hero? Like, anything?
I think with him actually being able to, so obviously as a soldier, he wants to get the mission done. Like, the mission comes first and foremost, right?
Yeah.
But when it came to the capturing the female Titan, he was still showing, like, remorse for his comrades. He still wanted to get as many of them out alive as he could, and even warned Levi about going out after the female Titan. Clear head, like, you got to think about this. If you go out there, you're going to die. Yada yada yada. So basically, like, having that perfect balance between getting the job done but not becoming a total monster because of it.
100%. I really, like, how can I say this? Obviously, Attack on Titan is on 3 seasons right now. Obviously 4 if you count, because season 3 is part 1, part 2. I'm only talking about, like, what I've brought up so far is season 1, Erwin, and what he's done and what he's accomplished. Just understand there's, like, 2-3 full more seasons that, like, of stuff that this guy has done that is heroic. There's way more that I'm not getting into right now that is crazy heroic that he's done. So I just want to just should have said at the top of it, like, just know that there is a fountain of reasons why this one is, I had to pick him. So yeah, with that being said, Hotshot, unless you have anything else to add, please go to your next pick.
I got nothing else on this one, so I'll go over to my number 4. So, Jaden, this is from a show that you've heard of as well as me.
Oh my god, go ahead.
The show is one that we've both seen fairly recently. It's a show that we've... Huh?
One Punch?
It actually is One Punch, yeah. But it's not Saitama and it's not Genos.
Oh my god, who is it?
Moomin Rider.
Oh my god, are you serious?
I'm serious.
That is a fantastic pick. I'm not being sarcastic.
Not being sarcastic, you actually like that pick?
I think you have picked... I mean, I'm not going to get into your reasons why, but I think I'll explain why I think it's a fantastic pick. Go ahead.
So I'm picking Moomin Rider. If you guys don't know him, he is literally the backgroundist of background characters and heroes in One Punch Man. He is always the one that's just on a bike. He is just a normal dude. Honestly, if you took one look at him, you'd think he's just a pizza delivery guy. But he just charges into these fights that metahumans and superpowered and everything else would have an immense amount of trouble dealing with. And this guy is just, all he has is his bike and his guts. That's it. Nothing else. And yeah, every now and again he does, every now and again, meaning every single time he fights, he gets absolutely annihilated. But he still keeps fighting. He still goes out and still keeps up the good fight. The one that pops in my mind the most is against the Sea King, where he's giving Saitama a ride, goes over and tries taking him on, and is just immediately brushed aside. But he knew he was going to, and he still stood up. He still got back up, trying to fight to protect everyone that was in the dome. He wanted to be a hero. He wanted to stand up and fight for what was right.
Absolutely. I actually have a quote right here. I'm looking at his wiki page. Directly to Deep Sea King. It doesn't matter if I stand a chance or not. I have to fight you here and now. I mean, does that not encapsulate who he is?
It encapsulates who he is, and in my eyes, encapsulates being a hero in general.
Definitely. For myself, Moomin Rider, what he possesses is heart. Pure heart and pure justice. And from just a definitive, like, what is a hero? What does a hero represent? Like, not physically, but more like emotionally, personally, mentally. Moomin Rider, just checks all the boxes here. He is a great hero for that reason. Obviously, physically, he's a complete joke. He's not able to do much. Like, I just remember, like, one of his moves is Justice Tackle, and what does he do? He just tackles someone. Okay. His next move is Justice Punch. What is that? He punches you. All right, cool. Justice Kick. What is that, Hotshot? What is Justice Kick?
He flicks you in the nose, right?
No, it's a kick.
Come on, it could be the other thing.
No, Justice Kick is a kick. I set that up for you so easily too.
That's why I avoided it. You set it up and I just walked around. That's what I do.
I know. I dislike you very much, but I also love you. All right.
It's nice to be loved.
I really enjoyed Moomin Rider in One Punch Man, and I really think that what he does and what he tries to accomplish, like, I think the one thing here is, like, he tries. He doesn't succeed, but it's okay not to succeed when you're a hero, because especially when in One Punch Man, when you have like thousands of heroes, at least you tried. You went out of your way. You know, he's very Krillin-esque in the way that he does his things, where, you know, Krillin, does he have a chance to defeat Frieza? No. Still on Namek fighting. Does Moomin Rider have a chance to defeat Deep Sea King? Not really. Still riding his bike to try to knock him over.
So, if I'm being completely honest, Moomin Rider, when he first showed up in his first couple episodes, I thought he was just a big wimp. I thought he was just like, there was a joke character, there was just like, I can do it! No, I can't! Like that kind of character. But then when I saw him go up against the Sea King, and when I saw his passion, his heart, his drive, I'm like, oh, shit, now I feel bad about laughing at this guy.
No, definitely. I understand what you mean, because at first he's such a joke, but then he grows on you. He just, like, naturally grows on you.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, he's the hero, so I should be rooting on him. It's what the fuck is this guy doing here? Then
definitely.
And then the more, like, hero ability and hero drive you see from him, you're like, oh god, Moomin Rider, awesome! Like, you actually get excited that he's there. You get not relieved, but you're like, yeah!
Oh my god. Yeah, absolutely. And I season 2 Moomin Rider is amazing as well. I wish you had seen these seasons, Hotshot, because there's, like, I feel like when we get to know, especially a character like Moomin Rider, who's very much secondary in his way of being presented to the audience, he has other key moments in season 2 which I appreciate him for. And when in season 1 you really get the general idea of who he is, but with season 2 you really go more into depth on his character arc and how he forms himself and his beliefs and his values, or even all these things are just more deeply discussed, and I really, really appreciate that. And plus, I think another thing, Saitama is a character that, you know, he's very bored, and all of his opponents, he's always like, you suck, you're the worst. You know what I mean? Because he just defeats them in one punch. Do you see what I'm saying here? Okay.
Yeah.
When Moomin Rider shows up to, like, fight Deep Sea King, and just, you know, it doesn't make it happen, Saitama shows up right after, and he's like, good job, man. Nice try. And he gets Saitama's respect in that sense, which is something I definitely, like, noted when I watched the season. Did you notice that moment?
I did, yeah, I did. Especially, I mean, for one, Moomin Rider gave Saitama a ride to where it was going on in the first place, too. So there's that. But just the mutual respect of one being a hero for fun and the other being a hero because that's what they believe in. But for those two to share a connection and share respect for each other, it resonates with you.
Absolutely. I mean, the C class is a beautiful place because of Moomin Rider. That's all I say. All right, that's everything I had to say about Moomin Rider.
Yeah, that's everything I got on too.
All right. I don't know where to go. I have so many picks. I have like 4 picks I can decide. I don't know where to go. By the way, I'm not doing this in a top 5 thing. I'm just kind of picking randomly.
No, I know. That's kind of what I'm doing. We never do this in order, by the way, guys. It's just 5 that we really want to talk about. Whenever we do a list, that's just always what it is.
Oh, man. I mean, I did mention him, so I think this would be a good moment to just kind of get into him. Yep, buddy.
Hey, that just shows I pay attention.
Yeah, good on you. Krillin is my next pick, my second pick as greatest anime hero. I think Krillin is a great hero. He's absolutely amazing. From the get-go, he's alongside Goku. Like, from the get-go. Who trains with Master Roshi? Goku and Krillin. Krillin quickly develops a bond with Goku as his best friend, and very much a heroic figure in the anime because he's obviously not the strongest, but he's always trying and he's always there, being a helping hand for the Z Fighters. And I know that, obviously, like in the Saiyan saga, is Krillin gonna make much of a difference? Well, he kind of did because he managed to shoot Vegeta with the Spirit Bomb when it was reflected back from Gohan. He was there, and he's just very, very helpful, and I just really enjoyed the way he conducted himself. I found him to be, like, at the beginning, he was very, like, jealous and selfish, and he didn't respect anything that Roshi was throwing at him. He was very, like, evasive with that kind of stuff, but more and more as the anime went on, like, you saw this compassion and this camaraderie between him and the other Z fighters develop, especially with Goku. Their friendship is one of the greatest in all of anime. I really enjoyed it. Specific moment when he dies on Namek and Goku becomes Super Saiyan. That was a powerful moment. Let's just fact check here. Like, seriously, Krillin in Dragon Ball Z, does he stand a chance against the Saiyans? No, he was still out there. He went, then, next arc, he's on Namek. He's there, and he's trying his best to help out, gathering Dragon Balls. Does he have much of a chance? No, but he's still, like, trying, and he gets his potential unlocked, and he's always there, like, just giving his all. And in the Cell Saga, he tried, he totally screws up the remote thing with 18, obviously, because he has, like, feelings for 18. That's one thing I just kind of went like, oh my god, you're not
I'm
thinking
with you.
with
But
your brain.
One thing he does do is throw a destructive disc at Cell, and he actually hits, but it does nothing.
No, Perfect Cell's not gonna. There's nothing happening there.
No, but at the same time, like Krillin kind of knows that it won't do anything, but he still uses it. He still tries to get it over and done with.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I really found him to be very resourceful as well, and his nature, he becomes, like, very good natured as well with his, like, behavior. Resourceful in the sense that he's always there and he's always trying new tactics. Example, Dragon Ball Super, we're picking 10 fighters for the Tournament of Power, and it's Goku versus Krillin. Does Krillin stand a chance to knock Goku out? No, but what does Krillin do? Krillin does this technique where he launches multiple destructo discs, okay? And Goku and Krillin are on this platform, right? And then one of the destructo discs goes under the platform and slices a circle right under Goku, almost putting Goku out of bounds. Fast forward to the Tournament of Power. That exact technique Goku uses on Jiren and almost knocks Jiren out. The god level destruction character. Once again, he was really, really, really useful. I can't excuse his horrible performance in the Tournament of Power. He's the first eliminated. In the first, like, 5 minutes of the tournament, he gets eliminated.
Well, seeing who Krillin is up against, like, don't get me wrong, I haven't seen the Tournament of Power. I don't know, like, everyone in it or, like, their power set or anything. But still, having something called the Tournament of Power and then given Krillin's track record, yeah, he's there. He shows a lot of heart. But when it comes to actually winning, I'm just going to leave it there because that's really all I can leave it at.
No, it's the way he goes out, though. He's there. He knocks someone out. He's like, oh, he's on the edge of the stage. Oh, look at me. I'm so awesome. An enemy shows up, knocks him out, bounces out of there. He let his guard down. And come on, Krillin. We could have seen you do something. But no. Another epic Krillin moment, him attacking all the Cybermen. All right, I'm going to go and talk for hours if you don't cut me off here. What do you think about Krillin, Hotshot?
Krillin is honestly my third favorite Dragon Ball character.
Damn,
like just in general, he is way up there. The only two that top him out are actually Trunks, Future Trunks, and Goku.
Really, but what about him as a hero? That's what more of what I'm trying to get at.
For Krillin, it's kind of the same thing that we just went as Ryder. It's just he's always there, even if he knows that he's not going to stand that much of a chance. He trains like hell for with the rest of the guys. He does everything in his power to do everything. He almost kills Vegeta if Goku hadn't stopped him, and he shows a lot of heart. He's there. He's there for when things get tough. He was the trigger for Super Saiyan because of his friendship with Goku. It's kind of hard not to call this guy a hero. Like, yeah, he may not win. Like, that's Goku's front. But honestly, if Goku didn't have Krillin from the get-go, then I don't think Goku would be where he is as strong or as heroic.
100% agree. I think that's enough talking about Krillin here. Let's go to your next.
Yeah, because if you keep going, you're gonna go forever.
So, go ahead.
So, if you remember, and I'm speaking to you specifically here, Jaden, if you remember our last hero list, you put a couple of terrorists on that list.
Yeah, 9 and 12, Zenki no Terror. Honestly, yeah, go ahead.
No, so what were you going to say? I kind of want you to finish that.
I was just like Giant for the future. Like, obviously, I just think, like, I just used that opportunity to, like, mention Zenki no Terror because I just wanted to talk about it. It was, just go on.
So, so my next pick is actually a terrorist of her own right. So, it's nowhere near what 9 and 12 do. It's nowhere near, like, destroying buildings or anything like that. I am picking Ayame Kaijo from Shinometa, otherwise known as a boring concept in a world where dirty jokes don't exist.
Okay. I've actually heard about this.
Okay. And I'm probably mispronouncing the actual name 100%. But basically the show is just... So it starts off with banning everything like even remotely lewd. So it bans dirty magazines, videos... basically your heart rate is always monitored, like if you get aroused or anything like that. It's just completely out the window, just gone. It doesn't exist. And as a result, it makes for a thriving community, like when it comes to like economics and yada yada yada. But it's also really funny to hear the characters just say, he touched me in my booty place, and this is coming from like a high school girl or something like that. So what Ayame does is, under the guise of her terrorist persona named Blue Snow, she literally filters or throws like dirty cards around. So like porn cards or magazines, like stashing them around the schools for wherever she is, and then basically just tries to get the word out like, hey guys, this is sex. It's natural to have these feelings. It's natural to want to make these dirty jokes. And she actually has a device where she opens it. She can open her mouth as dirty as she wants it to be and just say everything coming out of this girl's mouth. And it's just, she's just fighting for the human right, just for like the right to be dirty if you want to, or the right to be like what she believes to be normal. Just, it's normal to have these attractions. It's normal to have these desires or think this way. She just absolutely loves dirty jokes and loves everything sexual when it comes down to it. And she just wants the world to actually be able to be free to experience them.
Okay. I'm going to be completely straight. I am confused as to what is heroic about this character. I just feel like I'm confused, Hotshot. I don't know how to. I'm trying to understand this.
You're confused. You're confused as to why I'm picking her on a hero list.
Yeah, I'm confused as to why she's like, why is she considered a hero? Like, let's start like bit by bit here so I can understand.
I'm considering her to be a hero because in a world where, well, actually, in a world where dirty jokes don't exist, like basically everyone has been taken away from that right, like to the point to where they don't even know what sex is or like how procreation works or anything like that. It gets to the point where the people who actually control these rules get to the point of just putting chastity belts on everyone and just basically like, we want absolutely nothing filthy, absolutely nothing to do with that way of life. So basically you don't have any choice but to put these on and go on with your everyday lives. Like basically like these rules just getting over and out there and just like constant oppression to human rights and everything. She stands up for what she believes is right. She stands up for like, if you want to have dirty jokes, have dirty jokes. We have that right. We have that control. But there's also another terrorist group that comes in that takes things way out of proportion, like where they actually bust jack, they actually hold guns, they actually, like, they are terrorists when you get down to it. And she still plays the downplay, like, there's a right way to do this and there's a wrong way to do this. We want to show the people that there is pleasure to be had, there is good to be had in these dirty, impure thoughts. There is a good side to this. There is also whatever the fuck these guys are doing over here. She has that middle ground. Like, she's not she just wants freedom, honestly, to be able to have that, and she fights for it with her team.
She's a hero because she stands up for what she believes in. That's like the nucleus as to why she's a hero.
Even with all the oppression and everything that she suffered, like, she even gets to the point to where almost all of the school and everyone else turns against them. Like, yeah, we have the. She's basically more of a freedom fighter than anything.
I don't necessarily agree that it's heroic, but once again, the definition of hero varies between the two of us, so I respect the decision regardless. That's where I stand with it.
Okay, she'll still be on my list, though, so that's fine.
Of course, I'm not gonna I'm not.
She's a hero in my eyes, but then again, this is also coming from the one between the two of us who loves dirty humor and who loves, like, more dirty side of things.
So your pick is your pick, man. All right, I have nothing else to add. Can I go to my next pick? All right, so
yeah, go for it. And this is your third, right?
I am picking.
All right.
You know what? I'm going against my own rule here. I wanted to pick Genos, but I'm gonna break a rule here. I'm gonna pick a main character from another show. I'm picking from Seven Deadly Sins. I'm picking Meliodas.
Why did you steal my pick? No, I'm completely kidding.
I think Meliodas is a good replacement to Genos. Much more heroic. Obviously, much more heroic in the sense of, like, being the main protagonist. Meliodas is one of my favorite characters in anime. He is just so, oh my god, this guy is crazy. I mean, I love like how, like, if there's one thing a hero needs, it's like to have no fears. Meliodas does not know
a tragic backstory.
And a tragic, yeah, of course. But Meliodas does not know what the word fear means. As the leader of the Seven Deadly Sins, he is absolutely an amazing captain. He's looking out for them. He's a great fighter. He really is able to pack a punch that whenever Meliodas shows up on screen, I know it's going to be a great fight. And I really love all of his actions in battle. He's really, really powerful. And this is more of me geeking out about anything. Like, he's just such a strong character. I mean, you've seen Meliodas in action. You know what I'm talking about, Hotshot.
Yeah, I do. And I have seen the first season of Seven Deadly Sins. Unfortunately, I haven't seen past that. But even just that, he cares for his team. He's there trying to prove their name right. Especially when Elizabeth goes missing, he goes fucking berserk just trying to find her and get her back. And then just trying to uncover the history behind their name and just basically clearing their name, making sure they're not the ones who did anything wrong, and yada, yada, yada. The list with this guy is endless with how much heroic deeds he does. I mean, specifically, when it does come to Elizabeth, that's honestly me when his most heroic side does come out. But throughout the his entire team, he is, like you said, a hell of a captain. And
I really think you hit the nail on the head when you said he's very heroic when it comes to Elizabeth, because if there's one thing he cares about, it's that girl. Elizabeth means a lot to Meliodas, and they obviously have a very romantic and flirty relationship between the two of them. And I just really enjoy. So he's the sin of wrath. But still, like, wrath is not something that you would look at Meliodas when he's just being himself and describe him with. When you see him in battle, wrath is a perfect role. But he has this facade of calmness that really suits him well, because he has this thing where, when he's not going to battle and he's just being himself, he's just kind of there. He's very calm, and I like that. But when it comes to packing a punch, it's a complete 180. And also, like, I'm going to go out there, like, I think full counter is, like, one of the simplest, but one of the best, like, anime abilities ever.
With it, yeah, I'm gonna completely agree with you on that. And don't even get me started on his demon side, on his demon power.
I'm gonna get you started. What do you think about that demon power, bro?
I fucking love that power, but here's my only problem with it. When it's activated, he's no longer a hero. It's just gone. He's just completely blank and only knows destruction. But that power for him to have, again, I've gotten to the point where like he hasn't been able to harness it, so he could have since I've watched it. But if he has gotten to that point, that kind of power for a hero to have, fuck anything.
It's his berserk mode,
way.
essentially.
Yeah, essentially. But I just call it demon mode because you look at him, you just see the cold, dead eyes of a demon.
Definitely. And like I've watched all the seasons and I'm caught up, and like once again, I'm only talking season 1 here. There is so much more stuff he does in season 2, even though it's only 4 episodes, and in season 3, which is like just so good. So Meliodas is an example as to what a good leader is, because he really is able to organize the sins and gather them. Like the 7 deadly sins have not talking to each other in years and years, and he's able to like recruit them one at a time and really put them back together. I really, really love that. And he is adventurous. He's action packed. He's everything that like Moomin Rider has the attitude of a hero and everything, and the mental capacity of a hero. Meliodas has like the physical aspect nailed down like to a science.
He really does, though. I mean, just the fact that he's there, he knows what right and wrong is. He knows what he needs to do and how he needs to do it. He just hears from Elizabeth, "I'm looking for the 7 deadly sins." Like, all right, let's go get them. Wait, what? Yeah,
I got nothing better to do.
And that's really just all it is. Just this constant carefree attitude, but this carefree attitude that doesn't get to the point of him doing something wrong.
So for those reasons, I think Meliodas is worthy enough to be mentioned on the podcast.
I will say that is a hell of a pick
better
for
than
you.
Genos, right?
Better than Genos, yeah. I love Genos, but I love Meliodas a hell of a lot
Totally not
more.
being biased, guys. All right, that's all I had to say on Meliodas, honestly, because the other stuff I meant to say is like season 2 and season 3 stuff. So that's all I'll have to say.
All right, and yeah, I got nothing more on Meliodas either. So
yes,
is it my turn for the next pick? My number 4 pick is Kiyoshi from Prison School, the main protagonist in the group of guys that get arrested in prison school. Kiyoshi.
Okay, so why are you picking Kiyoshi? I never heard of this. I actually never heard of this anime.
So I'm picking Kiyoshi because, so if you guys don't know what prison school is, it starts with this all girls school, and for the first time ever, they accept 4 or 5 male students to attend this school, and they're the only guys in the school. It's just them. And on day 1, everything seems perfectly fine until the guys that night decide to do a little bit of, boy debauchery. They decide to try go peeking. And as a result, the council of their school have them thrown into this school prison. And that's really all it is. It's just them trying to survive a prison schoolyard with like high school happening in the background, with the student council completely wrecking their shit. So the reason why I'm picking Kiyoshi, though, is because after his first escape attempt, he comes around, tries to bring the guys together, holds them together. Even when all hope seems lost, he throws out everything, just everything to try to hold them together, everything to try and figure out a way out, everything to turn the tables on the student council that threw him in there in the first place. He is the glue that holds this group together. If not for him, they would have ripped into each other 1,000 times. There was one sequence where one guy in his jailmates gets to the point where he almost shanks somebody, and he jumps in the way to prevent the shanking from happening. So he gets stabbed himself. I'm not going to tell you where he gets stabbed because it's hilarious and horrible.
I think you just gave it away.
He gets stabbed in... No, it's not where you think it is. So he gets stabbed, and as a result, he keeps his prison mate from actually going to real prison as a result. And he just holds everyone together. He holds everyone accountable. Even when someone makes the same mistake he did, even when he got chewed out for it, he doesn't chew them out. He brings them in. He's like, we're all in this together, guys. We need to stay together in this. And even with all that, he still manages to... He doesn't do all this with a smile, mind you, because keep in mind, he is still in prison. But he manages to hold his group together. He manages to stay strong, and he manages to fight back.
Okay, so he's sounding like very leader-esque. He is sounding rebellious, though, which I don't think is a hero. Well, it can be, but it's not as heroic.
Okay, so it's rebellious, but is it rebellious if you're the ones who were being tricked and into doing wrong in the first place? like where you're trying to prove your innocence, like you're the one who are trying to save yourselves and expose the actual threat.
I mean, it's all a question of perspective. Is he in the right? I haven't seen the anime. Is he in the right? Is the school in the right? We don't know. I don't know, at least, because I haven't seen the anime. But if he's being rebellious to be heroic, it can work. I'm just saying that, like, if he's being rebellious because, oh, this is what I think is right, this is the right thing, but, like, what you think is right might not be the right thing in general. Obviously, we're talking about anime, so it's not real life. I just think that rebellious is a trait that, like, is easily associated to him.
Trust me when I say who he stands up against is corrupted beyond all hell, and they make it very obvious when the guys get arrested. Like, the student council president makes it very obvious that I only threw them in there because they're boys. She makes it very obvious.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's being rebellious for a good reason, if that is what's happening. Once again, haven't seen the anime. I'll take your word for it. Though, I do want to say this. He gets thrown in prison, right? Okay.
Yep.
And he's able to operate and do all these crazy plans in prison, right? Okay, so this guy performs very well under pressure in that case. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but it takes quite a bit of time in order for him to actually get any of these plans going.
Has a good level head and rationale. It's what I'm like. If you're gonna be like getting into prison and figuring your way out and flipping the script on the bad guys, as a hero, you're gonna have to have that rationale, be good under pressure. These are just things that he or she possesses.
I will completely agree with that. Yes,
that's what I'm just like. The thing is, when Hotshot tells me this stuff and I haven't seen the anime, all I have to go off of is what he's telling me. So I pick and choose, like, I listen to what he says and I try to gather information based off of that, you know? So that's what I'm gathering from him. What's the most heroic thing he does throughout the entire anime? Is it just what he stands for, his actions?
Probably the most heroic thing he does is they only have a very short time to throw in their final plan into effect. So he sacrifices something that you can never take back in order to give the guys enough time to work. And he just throws himself, because there's a girl in the show after the first couple episodes who wants nothing more than just to come after him and him alone. He throws himself to the wolves to give the guys the chance to work. And he just completely, I've been avoiding this the entire time, but this is our only shot for our final chance of escape or redemption or whatever you want to call it.
Well,
and he just completely gives himself up to
That's
her.
a whole new level of heroism, right?
Honestly, yeah. Like, I mean, heroism is different than sacrifice, but at the same time, they kind of go hand in hand at most times. Okay. So I'm going to say it was heroic for them to do.
Hotshot, I got to say, I'm really happy. This is amazing because, like, all these animes, I've never heard of them before, and I want to watch all of them now. So this is another reason why I love doing the podcast with you. Seriously, because you're really putting yourself out there with these new series, and, you know, we're stepping out of the shonen shadow, and it's good.
All right. In that case, you have one more to go before my last one, and I know you haven't heard my last one because it's from a show that I've brought up before, but haven't really dived into.
So I know I was talking about the Shonen Shadow, but we're going back into the Shonen Shadow for my next pick.
God damn it, we just got out of there.
Oh, but you see, my friend, this pick is worthy. This pick is underestimated, and this pick is one that you will never see coming, even though it's from the big shonen.
You already picked Krillin.
So, no. Kurenai, right?
Kurenai from Naruto?
Kurenai and Asuma, right? Did you know what they did?
They had a baby.
And I'm picking Mirai Sarutobi from Boruto because we really see her growth in Boruto. It's the daughter of Asuma and Kurenai, and she just finished as I'm recording this podcast. We just finished an arc she was very heavily involved with, where she was guarding the sixth, thus Kakashi and Gai Sensei on these trips to the hot springs. The whole arc seemed very Rock Lee Ninja Pal-esque. It seemed foolish. Why these old guys? Blah 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 blah. But you really see her growth, and you really see the punch she packs as a hero. She is so passionate, determined, and her father's death is this chip on her shoulder that she carries, and that she doesn't let it weigh her down, and she remembers these things that her father said, and that her father the messages, the beliefs he had. But the thing is, Asuma died before she ever got to meet him, and we come to a point in Boruto. Do you remember who killed Asuma?
Hidan, and then Shikamaru.
Hidan. Yeah,
Hidan,
exactly.
and then Shikamaru took on the role as godfather for his kid. That was his passing wish to him.
We have a bit of a Hidan Asuma reunion here, because basically there's this myth that someone in the hot springs is able to live to connect within the afterlife and let people from the living world talk to them. And this person is someone who practices Jashin, the religion that the Lord, which Hidan was under, right? Jashin. He was also always talking about Jashin. And Mirai very quickly is interested because she wants to talk to her father, but very quickly realizes that, like, this guy is a big joke. And this is not a real thing, and he's the one who's responsible for all these horrible things. And he puts this individual back into his place very quickly. And I just feel like as a shinobi, she is so powerful, and she is just so awesome, and I'm just happy because it's like a lot of female characters in anime, I feel like, are dependent on the male protagonist, but she just, like, she doesn't need no man. She kicks butt by herself, and she just is so strong, and I'm very proud to see her development. Like, physically super strong, genjutsu awesome, ninjutsu great, taijutsu I can't get enough of this character, Hotshot. I love Mirai Sarutobi. She's just such a strong character, man.
Honestly, she sounds like it, but I mean, look at who her parents are and look who brings her up, like who her sensei is. It's kind of no wonder why she is, like, as strong and straightforward as she is.
No, definitely. Dude, like, she is just so worthy of being on this podcast, and I'm just so happy we have a character like her, because honestly, the fact that Kurenai was pregnant was, like, something I've forgotten about, and, like, you know, I'm happy that, like, we prolonged into Boruto, because Mirai is
honestly,
one of the, like,
still haven't seen
Boruto,
any of Boruto, so I honestly haven't even seen who she is or what she can do.
No, I understand, but I wanted to, like, bring her up.
I completely understand.
That's all I had on Mirai.
Yeah, I got nothing. All right, so for my last pick, Jaden, if you remember in the past couple podcasts, I've brought up an anime called Date Alive. Yes. Do you remember me talking about that? So I'm bringing up the main protagonist of that anime for my hero list. So I'm picking Shido Itsuka from Date Alive, and Jaden, I'm explaining it to you as well. Date Alive is an anime where these horrible phenomena known as spatial quakes happen all over the world, completely showing devastation and destruction everywhere they go. And the cause of all these spatial quakes are these beings called spirits, which are just, so far, what it seems to be just female beings who appear from another world. Like, not alien, but like another dimensional realm, like, in a way.
Right.
I mean, that part is still entirely unclear. But basically, the only way for these spirits to stop causing spatial quakes is for them to be completely eradicated and destroyed, i.e. killed, or what Shido and his team does, take them on dates and make them fall in love. So that is what he does. He saves these spirits, he stops spatial quakes, he does all this. He does this by taking the girls out onto dates and making them fall in love with him. So it is a harem anime, I will fully admit that. But whereas everyone else, whenever they see the spirits, the first thing they want to do is completely annihilate them, completely kill them, or study them, like bring them back to an experimental lab and just like push their buttons until they're at the breaking point. And like basically just how can we harness this power for ourselves? Where Shido just wants to save the spirits and let them live happy lives in our world where they are, just being comfortable in their lives.
Okay, so he brings these spirits together basically, and he creates a foundation and a happier life for all of them, and he has a caretaker role almost.
He has a caretaker, yeah, because in order for him to steal their powers and in order for him to actually like make them so that they can live there, he has to make them fall in love with him, and then he has to kiss them in order to actually seal that bond between them. So now that they share that bond, it's one that can't really be broken. And he has to monitor and take care of the girls, like make sure they're doing all right, make sure they're happy in our world world. Otherwise, the spirit power will come back, and the AST will be forced to annihilate all of them. And they will stop at nothing to do this.
Wow. Okay. I mean, this sounds like confrontational. There's a lot of confrontation. There's a lot. That's the theme that's resonating with me.
Yeah, so it is confrontation. It's, do you believe that Shido's the hero where he's there for the girls, saving the girls? Or do you believe the AST is in the right in eradicating the spirits and not worrying about them anymore, aside from new ones showing up? It's very confrontational. It's very option opinion. But you follow Shido, you see the girls, you follow their story, you get to know them, you get to basically experience who they become now that they're part of our world. And you want them to be safe. You want Shido to be there with them. You want them to actually be part of our world and society and experience the world that we do.
I really like the concept here. I think, like, obviously, like, there's a harem themes here, but that's, you know, I mean, that's okay. That's like what you enjoy, and I respect that. At the same time, I feel like what he's doing here is like it's very delicate. Like, does he ever make mistakes? Isn't that something that's like kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that's one.
So he doesn't go into this alone. Hell, when he starts, he's just kind of forced into this role to save the spirits by an organization actually led by his little sister.
Okay, yeah.
Which I love. So he's thrown into this situation because he has the power to steal the spirits. Like, he's the only one who can give the spirits a chance to actually live a life instead of being destroyed, or instead of being forced to being used as weapons or being forced to be killed. He has the ability to give them a life, to give them a chance to live.
Huh. I like it, Hotshot.
It is actually, if it's not on my top, actually no, yeah, it is in my top 3 animes of all time that I've seen.
Oh, I think it's I'll have to give it a watch at some point.
You honestly will, because I got it. We started watching it just once on a whim, and we instantly fell in love. I more than Church, but we both fell in love.
Right on. I mean, honestly, that's all I had to add. Is there any final points you want to talk about for Shido?
Honestly, no, because unfortunately where the series had left off, it left off on like where it can be continued, but I don't know if it will be, so I don't really have anything else to say on it.
All right, I'm going to go to my final pick. Still within the shonen shadow. It's okay. This is an anime you know, but you haven't watched. I am picking from Yu Yu Hakusho, Kazuma Kuwabara. And I know. This is very much. I knew going into it that I'd be on my own, but I will still ask for your thoughts after what I've described here.
No, yeah, I got you.
So I absolutely love Kuwabara. He is such a delinquent and such an idiot at the beginning of the anime. But what he shapes into through all of the adventures in Yu Yu Hakusho it's a beautiful story. One thing I have to give him credit for is being loyal. He basically, Yusuke Urameshi, the main character of Yu Yu Hakusho, and him are always fighting. They're the top 2 school bullies or knuckleheads, whatever. They're always fighting, and Yusuke always beats him up. And Kuwabara very quickly he takes a liking to Yusuke just because like he's the only one that he can't beat. So one day I'll beat you, Yusuke. And they form a friendship throughout the anime, and he's heroic in the sense that he has this never say die attitude, and he really wants to be loyal to his friends and support them in whatever the story calls for, and he will put himself before anyone. He will put himself before anyone else. Like, he's persistent, he's stubborn, but he wants to do well, and he wants to prove to his friends that he just is there for them, and he has this very honest nature. I just loved him as a character. He just checked all the boxes as a hero. Superhero character. His abilities, he basically has this spirit sword where it's like almost like an electric sword, and with his spiritual energy, and he can like slice. He can slice within the spirit world, and it's really cool. So I really liked his technique, like a spirit sword. He can deflect with it. Just like really cool technique. So yeah, that's Kuwabara for you.
All right. I mean, I like the sword.
Is that all you like?
I mean, it does sound like he is a hero aspect. It does sound like he does deserve to be on the list. But if I'm being completely honest, when it comes to Yu Yu Hakusho, the only character that I know literally anything about, even to get like a background gasp or anything on that, is Yusuke. So whenever we talk about new characters, I have absolutely nothing.
No, of course, but like his personality, the way I describe that, is that heroic to you? What do you think?
It's kind of like explain one more like an actual heroic feat that he has done.
An actual hero. Okay, example. End of the Spirit tournament, the main tournament arc of Yu Yu Hakusho, and the Yusuke is trying to fight against Toguro, the big bad guy of this arc, and Toguro just wants Yusuke to go to his fullest, but Yusuke refuses to. Something's blocking him. Sorry, I coughed. And so what happens there is that Toguro's like, well, I'm just gonna fight someone else, and Kuwabara steps up to the playing field, and right away Toguro kills Kuwabara, and Kuwabara, he was there and he tried his best just because he saw Yusuke couldn't do it. And that bursts like this energy within Yusuke, and Yusuke like goes on to defeat Toguro, and no one else went to step up to like sacrifice themselves. Like literally like 2 minutes later, you see Kuwabara was actually fine at the end, but he was there and he was willing to put himself in the line of fire in order to win because they really had to defeat Toguro. That's an example.
So he pulls on the same feats as, say, Krillin or Ryder.
Why do you say that? Actually,
the fact that, like, even when it comes to self-sacrifice, or even when it just comes to we're not gonna win unless there's a breaking point or unless there's a push. And Ryder always threw himself in. Krillin threw himself in for Goku. This guy sounds like he does the same thing for Yusuke.
Right, I don't know.
Team.
Like, I definitely see it with Ryder, but like with Krillin was just kind of there. Like he didn't, you know what I mean?
I mean, you're right. It's just no, yeah, you're right. I got no comeback for it.
Krillin was just kind of present.
Krillin's just there. He just happens to be in the current vicinity on which things
are happening. He lurks in the Shonen Shadow, Hotshot.
He really does, though. And that Shadow has spiky ass hair.
All right. So that's all I had on Kuwabara. Let's anything else, Hotshot?
Nah, I got nothing. So let's go ahead and wrap this up.
My picks were Captain Irwin, Krillin, Mirai Sarutobi, Kuwabara, and Meliodas. What were your picks, Hotshot?
My picks were Ayame, Hiro, Shido, Kiyoshi. I just damn near forgot his name again. And
Hiro.
Duck. I said Hiro. I said Hiro already.
Shido,
yeah.
Kiyoshi, Ayame, Moomin Rider, and Hiro.
Moomin Rider. That was the one I forgot.
The simplest one.
See, he's so far in the background, he's even in my background.
All right. So, final thoughts on everything, Hotshot?
I think we picked nothing but heroes. I mean, obviously there was one on each of our lists, actually, now that I think about it, that the other couldn't really get into. But like we said at the beginning of this, hero isn't exactly a definite term when you get down to it.
Fair enough. Which is the one for me that you couldn't get into?
The one that we just went over for
Really?
Hakusho.
No, I disagree. He's a hero. No. Hotshot?
Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just not one that I got into, like you with Ayame.
You think he's a hero, right? Or not?
Are you going to say Ayame's a hero?
I see how she can be heroic, but seriously, being, like, standing up to something, that's it. There's nothing else that, from what I understood, I don't see that as being, like, a super mega hero. No. Kuwabara goes through all the wheels of motion with Yusuke Urameshi. He's there every step of the freaking way. And so, if Yusuke is a hero, Kuwabara is damn sure a hero.
Potato.
Man. Come on, Hotshot. You're better than that.
Seriously,
is that all you got?
Tomato.
Are you just like, is that your way of like giving up the argument?
I say you have your view. I say I have my view.
But your view's clearly wrong.
All right, let's go ahead and get out of here.
Doesn't want to talk about it anymore. All right. So my final thoughts on everything. No, I understand where Hotshot is coming from. I was just teasing him on that last point. Obviously, I think it's important to like denote here. These are personal picks. What we see as heroes. What I see as a hero is different from what Hotshot sees as a hero. But it's fun to like congregate and talk about it to see where we have differences and where we agree and disagree. I think that going for the popular ones like Goku and Vegeta and Naruto, like those are such obvious picks that I really wanted to go in the background more and dig through characters. I know Meliodas was the exception to the rule, but every rule has its exception. So, Hotshot, where can people find you on the internet? You have a new PC. Are you uploading in July?
I'm done promising when I'm gonna upload, because it's always whenever I make a promise I'm gonna upload, I don't end up uploading.
So you're not uploading?
I'm not gonna say that either. I am gonna say I'm working on uploading. I'm not gonna say I'm
really
gonna.
want to make a compilation
But
of
now,
every time you promise.
but now that I actually have a setup, now that I actually have what I can use to actually get something out, now I can actually put forth effort into getting something out.
Hotshot, it's become such a meme. Like, when are you uploading?
When are you uploading? Some point. That's it. That's it. I just want that to be a shirt now.
All right. Anything else you want to plug?
You guys can go ahead and find me here on JaianMusic, and you can also find me, hopefully, some point soon, my channel, you guys, on Hotshot Ginger, and you guys can find me over on Twitter at Caution Ginger.
All right.
But usually I'm just here. This is almost my 50th episode.
I think it is.
It may actually be my, the 50th one I've appeared on. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Close enough.
I've been here for a while. I gave this series life.
More than life, Hotshot. Hotshot, this podcast, seriously, would not be the same without you. And I really, truly mean that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No Hotshot, there's, no anime podcasters, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. So
if I just bounce, it's canceled?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Look at you with the power. How heroic of you to stay here. No, I love it.
Go ahead and plug your
Before I do
stuff.
that, I'm
Go.
plugging the majestical GoPro Kyo. Hotshot, do you want to plug GoPro?
Yeah, I can plug. I can plug.
Go ahead.
You guys can go ahead and find all of our artwork done by GoPro Kyo. He is on that same handle on Twitter as well as, I believe, Tumblr. If you guys search for him, he is accepting commissions. He is extremely cheap. He is extremely good at what he does, and he pours passion into every single piece that he does do. So please go ahead and search him, find him, tell him we sent you. Maybe he'll give him a discount. I don't know. I don't know what he does. But he is a really good friend of ours. He's a longtime friend of mine. And he does do damn good work, honestly. And I don't tell him that enough.
Use code HOTSHOT is leaving anime podcasters for 50% off your next GoPro Kyo artwork.
As long as you use the tag GoPro Hotshot.
All right. And for myself and anime podcasters, you can find the podcast on the Apple Podcasts app, on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and obviously YouTube, youtube.com/JaianMusic. For myself, my Twitter is @JaianMusic. And if you just want to see what I am all about, all the music I do, all the projects, JaianMusic.com, my website. You can hire me for freelance services. I do music, composition, beat making, sound design, just all this stuff I can do for your project if you need any sort of music and audio services. All right. That is going to be everything. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Anime Podcasters. Make sure to leave us a review. And next episode is 60. And we have something very special planned for 60. Hotshot, what are we doing for episode 60?
Come on, do we want to tell him or do we want to keep this one a surprise? It's a big thing.
I've literally done it before, though.
Well, fuck you.
What?
All right, next episode, we're doing a clip show based on the favorite moments of the former hosts of Anime Podcasters reacting to our favorite moments of the podcast.
Exactly. Former host being GoPro Kyo. I've reached out to Yuki, but she's not going to be able to come on, unfortunately. But obviously, these things happen. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a clip show. It's going to be really fun, and I just can't wait. Like, there's some funny clips I've been listening to that I just cannot wait to see. Hotshot be like, oh my god, did I actually do that? It's so great. It's so great.
Most of the ones that we're going to react to, I feel like are going to be me, though. Also, guys, just a last-minute reminder, remember, next week, there will be no uploads on JaianMusic since Jaian is going to be gone. So, just throwing that out there. There will not be an upload next week.
No uploads next week. Sorry about that. I'm going to be going to, I'm going camping.
I actually forgot where you were going until you just said that.
I'm literally going to be as far away from social media as possible. Like, no phone, nothing. Like, if you want to, like, send me a messenger pigeon, best of luck.
Just grab an owl and just hope to God it knows where you're going.
Exactly. All right, enough talking. Bye, guys.
Bye.